Chosen one. Stop scrolling. Heaven has paused this exact moment because your name has been spoken in the courts of glory. You are not reading these words by accident. The breath of God guided you here because a divine transaction is taking place. The season of surviving is finished. The season of divine funding has begun. You have been through the wilderness of lack, the storms of rejection, the nights when you counted coins and cried quietly, wondering if heaven saw. Yes, heaven saw. And now, heaven answers. Listen carefully. This is not a motivational talk. This is a decree. You have crossed the invisible threshold where suffering ends and sponsorship begins. Every place where you struggled to make things happen on your own, God is now saying, I will provide. You will no longer chase provision. Provision will chase you. What was once withheld will now be released with interest, because your endurance became your offering. The angels that once guarded your survival are now carrying the blueprint for your abundance. God is not sending you random blessings. He is releasing structured favor, divine funding for your life's purpose. You were never meant to live paycheck to paycheck, emotionally or spiritually. You were meant to flow in divine sufficiency. The Spirit whispers even now, you have overcome. Those words echo like thunder in the unseen realm, shaking the chains of limitation off your destiny. The warfare was not about what you lost, it was about what you were about to gain. Every delay was an investment. Every disappointment was a deposit. You thought the struggle meant you were forgotten, but it was heaven calculating the interest of your future harvest. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 22, the blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. That is your reality now. You are stepping into blessings that will not break you. You are stepping into provision that will not require compromise. You have been faithful in lack, and God rewards faithfulness. You did not bow to greed. Even when temptation whispered, you gave when you had little, and heaven recorded every act. Now the divine economy opens to you. Your name has been added to heaven's funding list, not because you demanded it, but because you trusted him when nothing made sense. Beloved, look at your hands. They have built, carried, wiped tears, and yet they remain open. God is about to fill those hands with resources, opportunities, and divine appointments. The people who once overlooked you will watch as heaven endorses you publicly, not to boast, but to show that obedience pays in divine currency. You are not the borrower anymore. You are the lender of light, the vessel through which heaven flows. Every seed you planted in faith, every time you gave, prayed, or encouraged others, when you yourself were empty, those seeds have matured. The harvest is breaking through the soil of time right now. Do not doubt the suddenness of what's coming. God does not need permission from the economy to bless you. He does not ask inflation if it's the right season. When God funds, it is final. When heaven releases, no power of darkness can freeze the flow. You will begin to see unexpected credits, spiritual, emotional, even material, showing up where there was once deficit. This message is your divine receipt, proof that heaven is not ignoring you. The anointing on your life carries a cost that heaven intends to cover fully. Stop worrying about how it will happen through divine alignment. The right people, the right doors, of the right timing, they are all being synchronized by unseen hands. Chosen one. Breathe. You don't have to fight for what is already yours. God is not funding your dreams out of pity. He is funding your mission out of purpose. You are an asset to the kingdom, and heaven never underfunds what it commissions. From this day forward, speak like someone who is backed by heaven. Walk like someone with divine sponsorship. When others ask how you're still standing, tell them, God is funding my life. Because it's true, He is underwriting your destiny with favor, covering your debts with mercy, and filling your accounts with peace. Now lift your eyes. This is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of your funded future. Let this declaration anchor in your spirit. You have overcome, and God Himself is now your provider. If this word resonates with your spirit, pause right here. Like this message, share it so others may awaken, and subscribe to stay aligned with heaven's flow. Then comment the prophetic number 777 below as your act of agreement, your digital amen that seals this divine decree. Chosen one. Do you remember the moment when everything seemed to break at once, when the ground beneath you gave way, and you thought it was the end? Heaven wants you to understand your breaking was not punishment. It was birthing. Every loss, every disappointment, every sleepless night was a divine contraction pushing you toward purpose. What you called collapse, heaven called construction. There was a day when you sat alone and whispered, "Why me?" But if you could have seen the angels gathered around your suffering, you would have realized it was not chaos, it was a divine meeting. Heaven was budgeting your destiny, allocating grace, strength, and future resources for your next chapter. Your pain was the signature that authorized heaven's funding. You were never being destroyed, you were being designed. When your heart broke, God collected every shard and shaped it into a vessel that could carry glory. You didn't know it, but every tear became currency in the spiritual economy. You were depositing trust when all you had left was faith. You thought no one saw your quiet obedience. Your prayers whispered through exhaustion, but heaven was listening, documenting, and multiplying. The darkness you endured was not random. It was the necessary contrast to reveal the light that was already within you. Sometimes, before a crown is placed, a cross must be carried. You carried yours well. You didn't curse the process. You stayed even when everything screamed for you to walk away. That is why this message finds you now, because your test has been marked complete. Heaven is saying, now that the breaking is finished, the building begins. Everything that shattered will be replaced with something stronger, something eternal. The cracks in your soul have become channels for divine flow. Where pain once resided, peace will now reign. Where confusion lived, clarity will take its place. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may last for a night, but joy comes with the morning. Your morning is not coming, it has already arrived. You are standing in it now. The dawn of divine provision has touched your horizon, and you can feel it in your spirit. The weight has lifted. The atmosphere around your life is changing. Do not rush to forget the pain. Chosen one, remember it rightly. Let it remind you that every valley had a purpose. Let it be the evidence that God can take ashes and craft them into beauty. You have been through the refining fire, and now the impurities have been burned away. What remains is gold tested, refined, radiant, There were moments when you felt stripped of everything: finances, friends, opportunities, but those losses were pruning. Heaven never removes something unless it intends to replace it with fruit. You were being trimmed to bear more, not less. What fell away was not punishment, it was preparation. In the unseen, heaven was building equity in your soul. While the world saw weakness, God saw investment potential. The breaking point was your birth point. Every time you whispered, "I still believe," you increased your spiritual value. Every time you forgave instead of retaliating, heaven took note and multiplied your future returns. Now you understand why the silence lasted so long. God wasn't ignoring you, He was calculating the cost of your destiny. The greater the call, the higher the investment. And you, beloved, are a high-value assignment. You were never meant to blend in, you were meant to be funded by heaven itself. So, breathe deep. Let the realization settle. The worst is over. The clouds that hung over your life are clearing. Divine funding doesn't just mean money, it means peace where there was chaos, strength where there was fatigue, wisdom where there was confusion. It means you will never have to carry alone what heaven has already promised to cover. You thought you were falling apart, but you were actually falling into place. The version of you that emerges now will not just survive, it will soar. The soil of suffering has produced a harvest of stability. The very ground that hurt you will become the platform that holds you. Do not despise your breaking point. It was the birthplace of your becoming. You have graduated from the school of pain with honors, and heaven celebrates your endurance. The old you was crushed, so the crown you could rise. Stand tall. Chosen one. You are not marked by what broke you, you are marked by what built you. The breaking point was not your ending, it was your enrollment into divine funding. The account of your destiny is now open, and every moment of pain has been credited as heavenly currency. Chosen one. Listen closely. The days of scraping by, the endless wondering of how you'll make it, are over. You have entered the shift from scarcity to sponsorship. God is not watching from a distance. He has become your direct provider. Where you once had to stretch what was barely enough, now heaven stretches resources to reach you. What you thought was empty is about to overflow. There was a time when you survived on crumbs, yet still gave thanks. You honored God in drought, and now the rain is coming. Divine sponsorship does not mean luxury, it means sufficiency without fear. It means your mind no longer trembles over tomorrow because your supply is not tied to the world's economy. Heaven has added your name to its payroll of purpose. You are fully backed by the King of Kings. You will notice the shift not just in finances, but in opportunities. The same way water finds the lowest ground, favor will find the humble. God is redirecting resources to you through unexpected channels. There will be people you've never met who feel compelled to bless you. There will be open doors that make no logical sense. You will walk into spaces that once felt impossible, not because you forced them open, but because heaven sponsored your access. It was never about wealth, it was always about witness. You were meant to live in a way that displays God's faithfulness, the way you forgive, the way you stay peaceful, the way you keep believing even when everything else says quit. These are marks of divine funding. God funds faith, not fear, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, Verse 18. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth, that He may confirm His covenant. This is the key. Wealth is not random, it is covenantal. The supply that is coming to you is attached to your assignment. You are not simply being blessed, you are being resourced. Chosen one. Lift your eyes. The storehouses of heaven are real. They are not mythical concepts or poetic metaphors. Every act of obedience you've performed has triggered a heavenly calculation. You may have thought your giving went unnoticed, but heaven is exact in its accounting. Nothing you've done in faith is lost. The reward may have seemed delayed, but it has never been denied. Even now, your life is being positioned to demonstrate what happens when a person puts full trust in divine sponsorship. This is why the old doors had to close, because heaven cannot pour fresh oil into contaminated containers. You had to release old patterns of fear, control, and striving. Now, you are learning to receive without anxiety, to steward without greed. You are learning that divine funding flows where there is surrender. You are entering the stage of rest-based provision. That means blessings will locate you while you are walking in peace. Not panits. You will wake up to answered prayers that required no begging, only belief. The very areas where you once said, "I don't know how," will soon become your testimonies of, "Look what God has done." When? Understand this clearly. Scarcity was a test of trust. It was heaven's way of seeing if you would still say, "God is good," when your hands were empty. You passed the test. That is why the flow is opening now. You did not serve God for what He could give you, served Him because of who He is. That is the posture heaven rewards. You will no longer compete for crumbs when you were created to carry keys. Your Father owns everything, and He is not bankrupt. He does not need to check a market report before blessing His children. You are moving from managing deficits to managing distribution. Every fear of not having enough is being broken off you right now. It is not your responsibility to fund your calling, it is your responsibility to obey. And heaven funds what obedience starts. The time of scraping is over. The time of sponsorship begins now. Before you scroll away, let your spirit agree. Type "I receive it" in the comments. It's not just a phrase, it's a prophetic declaration that seals your alignment with divine provision. When you type it, you are declaring to heaven and to your own soul, "I no longer live in lack. My life is funded by divine covenant." Say it. Believe it. And watch how heaven responds. Chosen one. There is a sacred principle hidden within every miracle of provision you have ever heard about. Obedience. The divine economy runs not on currency, but on compliance. When God commands and you respond, heaven moves. The currency of obedience is the only wealth that never devalues. You have been faithful, even when the instructions seemed strange. And because you obeyed, you unlocked accounts you did not know existed. Think about it. When Abraham stepped out of his homeland without a map, he activated a promise that would fund generations. When Peter cast his net after an unproductive night, he obeyed a word, not logic, and his boat overflowed. The pattern never changes. Obedience first. Abundance follows. You have reached that point now. God is about to honor every yes you gave when it would have been easier to say no. The world chases provision through performance, but heaven releases it through posture. You don't earn divine funding, you align with it. Obedience is the alignment. Every time you said, "Lord, I trust you," when you could not see, you were investing in your divine future. You were writing invisible checks of faith that heaven is now cashing on your behalf. Heaven has records of moments you forgot. The time you helped someone while lacking yourself. The quiet forgiveness you offered. The choice to stay pure when compromise was easier. These were transactions. Each act of obedience carries spiritual weight. Each moment of surrender becomes a heavenly investment that accrues interest over time. According to what is revealed in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 5, verse 5, "Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets." This is the principle of your new season because he said so. You move. Even when logic argues, you obey. Even when fear whispers, you advance. Because obedience is not about understanding, it's about trusting. Chosen one. Your obedience is not cheap. It has cost you comfort, friends, and sometimes reputation. You have obeyed God in silence, while others mocked or misunderstood you. But obedience always looks foolish until it bears fruit. Soon, the very people who questioned your surrender will witness the harvest that it birthed. What was hidden in obscurity will bloom in undeniable favor. God is teaching you that instructions are investments. Every word He gives you carries attached provision. The miracle is hidden in the motion. When you move, heaven multiplies. When you hesitate, the flow pauses. That is why the enemy always attacks your obedience first, because he knows it's the switch that turns on the supply. But you have learned to obey through tears, through waiting, through pain, and that obedience has now become your spiritual wealth. There will be moments when God tests your ability to act without clarity. He may ask you to bless someone, to release something, to speak life where you once spoke doubt. Each test is an opportunity to reveal that you trust the giver more than the gift. The flow of provision follows the flow of trust. When you trust, you attract. When you cling, you constrict. Heaven's economy expands in open hands. Every yes builds momentum. You have said yes in the dark, and now the dawn responds. The instructions for this next chapter may stretch your faith even more. But remember, obedience is the currency that buys your next level of favor. You cannot outgive or outobey God. The more you surrender, the more He supplies. Do not fear new instructions. They are not punishments. They are promotions. God only commands growth where He intends glory. Each time He asks something greater, it means He has prepared a larger capacity within you. The obedience that once felt heavy will soon feel holy. What was a burden will become a blessing. Chosen one. Think back to the moments you almost gave up. You wondered if obedience was worth it. If saying yes again would change anything. But now the results are surfacing. The windows of heaven that seemed locked are creaking open, not because you forced them, but because obedience unlocked the latch. In this season, obedience will replace anxiety. Instead of striving, you will listen. Instead of begging, you will follow. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for partnership. When you partner with divine instruction, you step into a realm where heaven funds every step you take. You have given your yes, and heaven has taken it seriously. That yes is now your signature on a divine contract. You have entered a covenant where provision is guaranteed because obedience is complete. Stay faithful. Chosen one, keep your spirit tender and your ears open. The next instruction will not be random, it will be the key that opens another gate of glory. You will see it. You will walk in it. And you will testify every yes was worth it. Chosen one. Can you feel it? The atmosphere around you has changed. Heaven's open ledger has been written with your name upon it. The pages that once seemed blank are now filled with divine entries, mercy credited, grâce dépositée, favor compounded daily. Angels have begun their assignments as heavenly accountants, releasing what was delayed, recording what was endured. You have reached the point where obedience and promise intersect, and heaven calls this intersection overflow. Lo, for so long, you felt invisible. You wondered if your sacrifices mattered, if your giving of time, love, and faith were ever noticed. But in the unseen realms, every act was written down. Every tear became ink on heaven's balance sheet. And now, the calculation is complete. It's not just your turn, it's your time. We find in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 10, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." You see, chosen one. God's economy works through partnership. When you give, you're not losing, you're planting. When you share, you're watering the soil of your own destiny. Heaven multiplies whatever is surrendered. Your love, your encouragement, your small act of generosity, none of it goes unnoticed. The spiritual flow increases through those who keep their hands open. Think of it this way: a closed fist cannot receive rain, but open palms catch every drop. When you hold tightly to what you have, fear becomes your banker. But when you release what you hold, your kindness, your attention, your support, heaven invests back into your life with interest. You have become part of a divine cycle. This message isn't a transaction, it's a stream. When you engage, when you pour back into what pours into you, the river widens. That's how divine funding operates. It doesn't stop at you, it flows through you. There's something sacred about sowing into the place that feeds your spirit. Every word you've heard, every truth that has strengthened your heart, these are not digital pixels, they are divine seeds. When you share them, when you tell someone else, listen to this, it might lift you. You become a messenger of light. When you press that like, that share, or when you choose to support, you're not promoting a page, you're helping heaven echo louder in this world. You may not realize it, but someone on the other side of the screen might find hope because of your act. One simple share might be the reason another soul decides not to quit. A single moment of generosity might keep the message alive long enough to reach a weary heart halfway across the world. You, chosen one, are a bridge in the divine network of grace. God's ledger doesn't just record what you receive, it multiplies what you release. Every seed leaves your hand, but never your life. It circles back in multiplied form: peace, restoration, unexpected favor. The more you pour, the more heaven fills. This is the mystery of divine economics. What leaves in love always returns in abundance. You are a living investment of heaven. When you give your time to listen, when you share words that heal, When you donate even the smallest gift toward what uplifts souls, you are fueling something eternal. Every message sent, every story shared, becomes another beam of light piercing through the world's noise. The truth is, chosen one, this mission is larger than any one of us. It's not built on algorithms, but on anointing. Every time you engage, you're saying, I believe in what God is doing here. You become not just a listener, but a co-laborer in the flow of heaven's funding on earth. So if this message stirs your spirit, let your heart respond. Like this message, not out of habit, but as a sign of agreement. Share it as a seed of faith, so it might reach the one who needs it next. And if you feel led, become a part of the mission. Tangibly donate, support, or simply speak a prayer over it. Every gesture counts. Heaven records even the smallest act of love. Remember, the ledger of God never loses balance. Whatever you give, He multiplies. Whatever you share, He extends. The more you pour out, the deeper your well becomes. Chosen one, the gates of abundance are open, not because you demanded them, but because you've proven you can be trusted with the flow. The accounts of heaven are liquid with your name on them, and as you continue to give, share, and carry light, that flow will never dry up. You will see blessing pour from directions you never expected, because when heaven funds, it funds fully and it funds forever. Chosen one. Something unseen is shifting around you, even now. There is a divine transfer underway, an invisible movement in the spiritual realm that will soon manifest in the natural. Heaven is moving resources from the hands of the careless into the hands of the called. What once felt unfair will soon make sense. For God has chosen you as a vessel of redistribution. You are not simply receiving wealth, you are receiving responsibility. You must understand this. Divine transfer is never random. It happens when heaven finds a heart that will not hoard what it gives. God funds purpose, not pride. And because you have proven faithful in wilderness seasons, He now trusts you to steward this flow. What others misused will now be redirected to fulfill what they ignored. This moment is sacred, for the shift you're stepping into was prophesied long before you were born. You have walked through battles that made no logical sense, but each one qualified you for kingdom, promotion, every rejection, every loss. Every unanswered prayer was preparing the spiritual space for this transfer. Heaven was emptying your hands so that they could now hold more. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay. That time has arrived. Chosen one, the waiting season has matured into manifestation. What was once promised in whispers is about to speak loudly through evidence. Picture it like this. Heaven is balancing the scales. The wealth of those who prospered through greed, deceit, and pride is being rerouted, not as revenge, but as restoration. God is not taking from one to punish them. He is redirecting resources to accomplish His purposes through the obedient. You are not taking from the world. The world is being compelled to fund heaven's agenda through you. You will notice unusual opportunities forming, sudden favor from unexpected people, and doors that open without effort. This is not luck, it is the prophetic transfer. God is making the crooked ways straight and positioning you in places where influence and increase align. Do not resist it. You are not being elevated for vanity, but for visibility. Heaven wants your story to become proof of divine faithfulness. The enemy, of course, will attempt to whisper lies. He will say, "You don't deserve this. This is too much." But remember, you endured too much to disqualify yourself now. Every trial was training. Every delay was discipline. Every heartbreak was refining. You are prepared for this. You will carry abundance with humility and wield influence with integrity. That is why heaven can finally trust you with it. You once prayed for enough to survive. Now, God is giving you more than enough to supply. What once came as a trickle will now flow like a river, and this flow will not dry up. Because it is not built on earthly economy, it's fueled by obedience and sustained by purpose. Do not fear the size of what's coming. Do not shrink when the blessings arrive. To deny what God gives is to doubt His judgment. You have waited. You have been faithful. And now you must receive with confidence. The resources being transferred to you have assignments: feed the hungry, lift the broken, build what others abandoned. You are not a collector of wealth. You are a conduit of grace. Even now, angels are aligning circumstances in your favor. Contracts are being rewritten. Old debts, spiritual and emotional, are being cancelled. The transfer is not just about finances. It's about freedom. God is restoring what was stolen and multiplying what was left. You will hold in your hands what once felt like a dream. Chosen one, lift your head. You are not stepping into random prosperity. You are stepping into prophetic fulfillment. The world may call it coincidence, but heaven calls it covenant. Every door opening before you now was locked by design until your character could carry its key. You are ready. And as this word finds its home in your heart, make your declaration. Comment 888 below as a prophetic sign of alignment. The number represents new beginnings and divine balance. Heaven's perfect timing unfolding in your life. When you type it, you are not seeking luck. You are acknowledging that divine order governs your story. You are saying, "I am ready for what is mine by purpose, not by pride." No. So breathe in this moment. Receive it fully. The divine transfer is not coming, it is here. Heaven's resources are already moving in your direction. Everything you lost will be returned, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And when it arrives, remember this truth: you are not lucky. You are trusted. Chosen one. Take a deep breath. Feel the stillness that surrounds you now. You've entered a sacred space where striving no longer works, where logic no longer rules, where faith becomes the currency that opens every vault. This is the realm of divine economy, the bank of faith. It cannot be hacked. It cannot collapse. And it does not run on earthly supply and demand. Its transactions are invisible but irreversible. When you believe, you withdraw. When you doubt, you delay. It has always been this way. Heaven's resources are distributed not by credit score, but by conviction. God measures faith the way the world measures currency. Each act of belief is a deposit. Ich prayer, a transaction. Each word of trust, spoken in the face of fear, is an authorization that allows heaven to release what's been waiting for you. You may not see the process, but faith is not blind, it's visionary. It sees what is invisible and acts as though it's already here. Faith does not beg, it builds. It does not panic when doors close. It prepares for new ones to open. The bank of faith never goes bankrupt, because its source is eternal, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 22. And whatever you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive. That is the foundation of this supernatural economy. Not wishful thinking, but believing, not hoping vaguely, but expecting confidently. For too long, you've thought that resources were external, that breakthrough depended on people, places, and timing. But heaven is teaching you now that your provision was never out there. It has always been inside your faith. The bank of faith is internal, but its effects manifest externally. When you decide to believe completely, you authorize a withdrawal from the unseen realm. Do you remember the times you prayed without seeing results? They were not wasted prayers, they were pending transactions. Heaven never ignores a faithful request. Sometimes the processing takes longer because your faith must mature to handle the fulfillment. God doesn't deny. He develops. He waits until you are prepared to manage the magnitude of what you asked for. Every believer has an account in this divine system, but not everyone accesses it. Fear freezes funds. Doubt delays transfers. Complaining creates spiritual overdrafts. But gratitude multiplies interest. Every time you thank God before the miracle manifests, you are adding compound faith. Every time you worship in waiting, heaven increases your spiritual credit limit. Chosen one. The reason you've been through scarcity is because your faith was being trained to handle overflow. If God had released abundance too soon, you might have thought it was your doing. But now you know the truth. You cannot earn grace. You can only believe for it. Faith is not passive. It's a living force. It doesn't sit quietly. It builds bridges through storms. When you say, "I still believe," after disappointment, you're writing a spiritual check that heaven must honor. When you choose peace instead of panic, you're investing in eternal dividends. Do not underestimate the unseen returns that are accumulating right now. You have sown faith in tears, and you will reap joy in clarity. There are blessings on their way to you that have your name engraved on them. They will arrive precisely on schedule, not early, not late, but right when your spirit is ready to steward them wisely. In this divine system, generosity fuels flow. When you give in faith, whether it's kindness, prayer, or resources, you are not depleting your account, you're expanding it. The bank of faith rewards every act of trust. When you let go of control, heaven increases your capacity. When you release fear, God releases favor. Understand this. Faith is not a last resort. It is the first resource. It precedes provision. It births miracles. It rewrites reality. Every time you speak life over your situation, you are investing. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, you are making a heavenly deposit. Faith has no inflation, no corruption, no limit. It is the one economy that never fails. And in this new season, God is promoting you from client to partner. You are no longer a mere recipient of blessings. You are becoming a distributor. You will not just withdraw. You will help others access their accounts through your testimony. Your faith will inspire withdrawals in others' lives. That is how heaven expands its reach, through the faith of its chosen. So, chosen one, let this truth settle deep in your spirit. Faith is your divine debit card. Use it daily. Use it boldly. The funds of heaven are unlimited, but they respond only to those who trust without hesitation. The next time you pray, don't just hope. Authorize. Don't just ask, expect. Because in the kingdom's economy, your faith determines your flow, and yours, chosen one, is limitless. Chosen one. Before heaven releases new levels of abundance, there is always an inspection, a sacred audit of the soul, not to condemn, but to confirm readiness. God does not hand over glory to a heart still chained by greed or fear. The blessing you've been promised is too heavy for unsteady motives. That is why this season has felt like stillness. It has not been delay, it has been divine review. Heaven has been checking what you truly treasure. Do you desire the promise or the presence, the reward or the relationship? This moment in your journey is where intentions are weighed. Not your performance, but your purity. God already knows your potential. What He examines is the posture of your heart. The world measures success by accumulation, but heaven measures it by alignment. God asks not, "How much do you have?" but, "How much can I trust you with?" This question echoes through the chambers of your spirit even now. Can He trust you to handle provision without pride? Can He release favor without it becoming a throne for your ego? The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 17, verse 10. I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. These are not words of threat. They are words of precision. God's blessings are tailor-made. He rewards based on readiness, not requests. You see, chosen one. There are no shortcuts in divine stewardship. You cannot skip the audit. Before God expands your influence, He always purifies your intention. You cannot carry holy things with unclean motives. The weight will crush you. That is why the past season felt like exposure, relationships breaking, false motives surfacing, ambitions being tested. Heaven was cleaning the vault before depositing new treasure. This inner audit is not about punishment, it's about preservation. God refuses to bless you in a way that would destroy you. So, when you cried, "Why is it taking so long?" Heaven replied, "Because I love you too much to let blessing break you." The waiting room has been your purification chamber. You are being refined, not rejected. When the heart is pure, the vault opens. God can entrust much to those who hold it lightly. He gives generously to those who understand that what they have is never theirs alone. Every resource He places in your hand comes with a purpose tag attached. It's not ownership, it's stewardship. And stewardship begins where self-worship ends. This is the wisdom few understand. Provision tests humility. Lack reveals faith. But abundance reveals character. Many can pray under pressure, but few can remain prayerful under prosperity. Heaven is making sure you are one of the few. That is why He has been pruning desires, teaching you to love simplicity, showing you that peace is the greatest profit. If your motives have been purified, then the audit is nearly complete. The final phase is honesty. You must be honest with yourself. Why do you want what you're asking for? Is it to prove something to people, or to fulfill something for God? True abundance comes when the answer is for His glory alone. And what? Heaven does not ignore ambition. but it redefines it. Divine ambition says, "Bless me, Lord, so I can bless others." That kind of heart multiplies effortlessly because it mirrors the nature of God Himself. The moment your desire becomes aligned with His design, the audit ends and the release begins. And when that release happens, it will not come with noise, it will come with knowing. You will simply realize that the things you used to chase are now chasing you. Peace will arrive where panic once lived. Opportunities will appear without your pursuit. You will become a magnet for divine alignment, because heaven has approved your heart. Chosen one. This inspection is heaven's compliment to your calling. God audits only those He plans to promote. If He has been searching your soul, it means He is preparing to trust you with more. You are about to graduate from hidden faithfulness to visible fruitfulness. But remember this, the purity that opened the vault must be the purity that keeps it flowing. Guard your motives like treasure. The enemy doesn't fear your money or your success, he fears your purity. Because a pure vessel can change nations. The moment your heart remains uncorrupted by gain, you become unstoppable. Heaven cannot help but pour into a heart that beats in rhythm with divine purpose. So let the audit continue until it's done. Let every hidden motive rise and dissolve in the light of truth. You have nothing to hide from the one who already knows you completely. When the inspection ends, you'll find not shame, but promotion. You'll realize that the vault was never locked. It was waiting for your heart to match its code. Chosen one. The chains of debt, financial, emotional, and spiritual have bound you for far too long. But hear this truth. Heaven never intended for you to live beneath what Christ already paid for. You have carried burdens that were never yours to own, obligations that drained your strength, and guilt that paralyzed your spirit. Yet today, a divine reversal begins. The same hands that bore nails are now tearing the receipts of your bondage in half. You are stepping from debt to dominion. The days of survival are over. The season of repayment has turned into restoration. You thought you had to work to earn peace, but grace has already cleared your balance. The account of your soul reads, paid in full. Every mistake, every delay, every missed opportunity, heaven has written forgiven across them all. The voice of God thundered in the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 14. He cancelled the charge against us, nailing it to the cross, and set us free. That, chosen one, is your freedom certificate. What once owned you no longer has authority over you. Debt is not only about money, it is the weight of unmet expectations, unhealed wounds, and unseen pressures. You've been repaying emotional debts to people who never valued you, carrying guilt that wasn't yours, and trying to settle accounts that heaven already wiped clean. You've been living as a debtor in a kingdom where you are meant to reign. But today, God redefines your relationship with lack. He is not just cancelling your debt, He is converting it into dominion. Every area where you once begged for help will become a place where you now offer it. The same pain that humbled you will become power that equips you. What you lost in tears, you will regain in authority. Debt taught you to depend. Dominion teaches you to distribute. You are shifting from being one who pleads to one who provides. From being the one in need to the one who meets it. Heaven is rewriting your name in its records, not as a borrower, but as a builder. Understand this divine mystery. What the enemy used to drain you is now the very thing God will use to elevate you. Your financial struggles, your emotional heartbreaks, your spiritual exhaustion, they were the training grounds for divine management. God allows pressure to prepare his stewards. Only those who have known lack can truly respect abundance. Only those who have wept over loss can truly protect blessing. So now, as the tables turn, stay humble. Remember the wilderness that shaped your wisdom. Dominion without humility becomes destruction. But you have learned enough pain to carry power with grace. Heaven knows this. That is why the transfer has begun. You will soon begin to notice changes in your atmosphere. Bills will be paid in ways that defy logic. Relationships that once drained you will fade as divine peace replaces them. New ideas will arrive suddenly, like rain on dry soil. Business ideas, creative flows, open doors. They are not coincidences, they are confirmations. God is funding your freedom. You will no longer chase opportunities. Opportunities will chase you. People will wonder how you rose so quickly. Not realizing your rise began the moment you surrendered control. You no longer operate in the economy of debt. You operate in the economy of grace. Every no you endured was heaven redirecting you to a better yes. Every closed door was protection from counterfeit provision. You were never being punished. You were being preserved. The lender's chains have fallen. The debtor's mindset has dissolved. You are no longer trying to prove your worth. You are walking in it. Debt bows to dominion. Fear bows to faith. Scarcity bows to surrender. That is the new order of your life. And every time you begin to feel anxiety, whisper, "What if it all falls apart again?" Remind yourself, your account has already been settled. Heaven never reopens paid debts. Chosen one. This moment is a decree, not a discussion. God himself has stamped your record, forgiven, funded, free. And from this moment on, everything that once limited you will now serve you. The things that intimidated you will now honor you. You are walking out of bondage into authority. So take a moment to anchor this truth in your spirit. Let heaven hear your agreement. Type, "I'm debt-free" in the comments below. It's not just about money, it's about the release of every burden you've carried. When you type it, you're declaring alignment with what heaven already wrote. Your debts are cancelled. Your dominion has begun. Say it with conviction, not hesitation. Because you're not hoping for freedom, you're walking in it. Chosen one. Heaven is orchestrating introductions right now. Invisible threads are weaving connections that will soon manifest in your natural world. You are being positioned for divine partnerships, people who carry what you lack and need what you carry. The days of walking alone are fading. The isolation was necessary for revelation. But connection is necessary for expansion. God is aligning you with those who will not compete with your light, but complement it. Every divine purpose requires divine partnership. Moses had Aaron. Ruth had Naomi. David had Jonathan. Even Jesus sent his disciples out 2 by 2. No calling is meant to be carried solo. You are stepping into a season of collaboration, where heaven arranges meetings that seem accidental but are actually prophetic. The people coming into your life now are not coincidences, they are confirmations. According to what is revealed in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. That return is not just financial, it is spiritual synergy. When God connects two faithful hearts, The anointing multiplies, not divides. One voice echoes, but two create harmony. Chosen one. The ones heaven is sending will recognize your assignment without explanation. They won't drain you with doubt or envy. They'll water your purpose with faith. Together, you will build what you could not build alone. You will create, restore, and influence in ways you never imagined possible. Partnership is a divine ecosystem. Each one contributes something sacred. Some will bring wisdom, others resources, others prayer, and some will bring simply their presence. Don't underestimate the ones who show up quietly. Sometimes the greatest pillars are the ones that stand silently but hold up the whole structure. You've walked through seasons where people left you when you had nothing. Now God is sending those who will stay because they see who you are becoming. These divine partners are heaven's investment in your destiny. Treat them with honor. Collaboration is the language of the kingdom. You are being called to steward these new relationships with humility and clarity. Don't try to control. Allow connection to flow naturally. Heaven's partnerships are never forced. They're felt. They carry peace, not pressure. When God sends someone, you won't have to chase them. They will find you at the intersection of purpose and timing. This message you're hearing now is also a partnership. Every time you listen, every time you engage, every time you help spread this word, you become part of something greater than yourself. You and I connected across time, distance, and circumstance are co-laborers in the mission of awakening the chosen. Imagine this work as a great lighthouse on the shore of a dark sea. Every message, every word of truth is a beam of light reaching lost ships. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you're helping that light shine brighter and farther. When you donate, no matter the amount, you're adding oil to the lamp so that it never flickers out. The sea is vast, and there are many still adrift. Your small act might be the reason someone finds their way home. This isn't manipulation, it's multiplication. You are participating in something eternal. You're not giving to a person, you're giving through a person, straight into heaven's broadcast signal. Every seed of support, be it prayer, sharing, or contribution, turns into light that travels beyond what your eyes can see. Think of it like rainfall. A single drop may seem insignificant, but many drops together fill rivers, and rivers sustain nations. When you engage, when you support, when you pray, you become part of that river, and that river does not stop. It flows forward, nourishing lives you'll never meet until eternity. Your engagement keeps this message alive. Your generosity keeps the light burning, and your faith keeps the sound of heaven echoing through digital valleys. This partnership is not transactional, it's transformational. You give life to what gives life to you. That's the circle of divine exchange. So, chosen one, continue walking in this spirit of connection. When you encounter this message, see it as a meeting place between your calling and heaven's current. Like this word, if it has stirred your spirit. Share it if you believe someone else needs a reminder that they are not alone. Subscribe to stay in the flow of divine wisdom that keeps unfolding here. And if you feel led, sow a seed, an act of partnership to keep the fire burning brighter. Your faith fuels the flame. Your support extends the reach. And together, we become builders of light in a world too accustomed to darkness. You are not just a listener, You are a partner in the divine network of destiny, and heaven smiles every time you act in alignment with that truth. Chosen one, favor is the invisible currency of heaven. It is more powerful than wealth, more enduring than reputation, and more precise than talent. Favor opens doors that effort cannot. It whispers your name in rooms you have never entered and grants you access you didn't have to negotiate for. It is not random, it is relational. Favor is the proof that heaven's gaze is still upon you. You've seen moments of favor before, small flashes of grace when things worked out unexpectedly. But now, you are stepping into sustained favor, a flow rather than a flicker. This is not the kind of blessing that fades. This is covenantal favor, written into your divine DNA. The same God who anointed you in obscurity is now preparing to endorse you in public. You have walked through rejection and misunderstanding because favor cannot rest on a heart that still seeks validation. God had to detox you from the need for approval. He allowed certain people to overlook you so that when He elevated you, you would know the difference between applause and assignment. Favor doesn't come to those who crave attention, it comes to those who can handle responsibility. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 5, verse 12. Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous, you surround them with your favor as with a shield. You will soon notice the difference between luck and favor. Luck fades when circumstances shift, but favor remains even when everything else collapses. When God surrounds you with favor, no accusation can stick, no enemy can prevail, no delay can derail. Favor bends reality to align with God's timing. There were seasons where you mistook struggle for abandonment, but heaven was actually preparing the stage for this new level. You had to learn how to work faithfully without visible reward. You had to prove that your worship was not for sale. That's why favor took its time. It arrives only when character can carry it. Chosen one. Favor is not always loud. Sometimes it looks like being in the right place at the right time. Sometimes it feels like peace in the middle of chaos. Sometimes it's a closed door that spares you from destruction. Every redirection, every delay, every not yet has been part of favor's design. God's no was never rejection. It was redirection into something safer, wiser, higher. And when favor finally manifests fully, it won't just elevate you, it will expose what has been hidden. Those who doubted your endurance will see that it was never about luck, it was about promise. You will stand in rooms that once ignored you and realize they needed what you carried all along. But remember this, favor is never just for you. It's given to flow through you. You are blessed to be a blessing, favored to extend grace, lifted to lift others. If you make favor about self, it evaporates. If you make it about service, it multiplies. You are entering a time when favor will speak louder than your effort. What used to take months will happen in days. What seemed impossible will unfold naturally. You will experience what Scripture calls sweatless victories, triumphs that come through faith, not striving. Heaven will orchestrate divine shortcuts that take you exactly where you need to be. Still, you must remain anchored. Favor attracts attention, both holy and hostile. The same light that draws admiration also stirs envy. Guard your humility. Remember that favor came because of your obedience, not your brilliance. Stay low before God. and He will keep lifting you. Chosen one. Learn to steward favor like oil. It must be poured carefully. Don't waste it on proving yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Don't use it to validate ego. Use it to validate God's goodness. Favor is not for flaunting, it's for functioning. There will be moments when you'll wonder, why me? The answer is simple, because heaven trusts you. Favor is heaven's vote of confidence. It means God has examined your heart and decided you can be trusted with influence. The promotion, the recognition, the opportunities. They're all confirmation of what He already saw in you when no one else did. So walk boldly but humbly. Speak with grace. Move with wisdom. You are not chasing favor, it's chasing you. Every step you take in alignment with purpose will draw it closer. The same shield that surrounded David surrounds you now. Favor doesn't remove warfare, but it ensures victory. It doesn't exempt you from tests. It guarantees that every test will work in your favor. This is your atmosphere now, a season where even mistakes will turn into miracles, and what was once withheld will now overflow. Chosen one. Walk under this covering with reverence. You are shielded, supported, and surrounded. Favor is your new normal, and heaven's signature is already written over your life. Chosen one. The floodgates of heaven are not a myth. They are open, and you are standing beneath them. You are entering the realm of overflow, not the noisy overflow of showing off, but the holy overflow of stewardship. This abundance is not random, it is precise. God knows exactly what you need and when to release it. The trickle you once thanked Him for is turning into a river, and that river will not run dry. You have passed through famine, not because God abandoned you, but because He was preparing your spirit to recognize abundance without arrogance. The wilderness taught you how to handle plenty without forgetting who provided it. You learned that bread from heaven tastes different than bread from pride. That lesson was crucial, because overflow is not for indulgence, it's for impact. You are now living in the manifestation of promises spoken long ago. The prayers you whispered when your heart was breaking are now returning as harvest. Every seed of faith planted in tears is emerging from the soil of time. It was never lost, it was simply hidden. And now, heaven calls it forth. As was spoken in the ancient words of the Apostle Paul in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 8, "And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work." That is the blueprint for your new reality: abundance with assignment, overflow with purpose. Chosen one. Overflow doesn't begin with possession, it begins with perception. You are not becoming rich, you are realizing that you already are. You have spiritual equity, emotional wealth, divine credibility. Heaven's economy does not wait for bank balances. It flows through belief. You believed through drought, and now you will believe through downpour. But understand this: overflow demands structure. A full cup must have steady hands. God will not pour more than your character can carry. That is why the testing came first, to steady you. Now that you've proven faithful, He can trust you with more. This next flow will require wisdom. You must discern what to keep, what to sow, and what to let flow through. Not everything that comes to you is for you. Some blessings will arrive labeled transfer. They are meant to pass through your life to reach someone else. That is how heaven circulates abundance through generous hearts. The world clutches, the chosen release. You must remember, a dam holds back water, but a river gives life. You were born to be a river. The overflow will reach unexpected areas. Relationships that once drained, you will now bless you. Projects that once stalled will now accelerate. The same talents you thought were insignificant will suddenly become profitable. It's not luck, it's alignment. God is turning you into a living example of what happens when faith meets divine funding. And this overflow is not just material, it's emotional. Peace will overflow where anxiety once lived. Clarity will overflow where confusion reigned. Joy will overflow in the very spaces that once echoed with sorrow. Every area that once felt barren will bloom again. The same hands that sowed in brokenness will now gather in beauty. Do not apologize for this season. You have paid the price in patience, humility, and obedience. You are not being spoiled, you are being sponsored. Heaven is backing your assignment, not just your needs. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to sustain others. This overflow is confirmation that you are now trusted with that level of responsibility. Still, remember the lesson of balance. The overflow must remain under the covering of reverence. Do not let prosperity silence prayer. Do not let abundance dull awareness. Keep gratitude alive, and the flow will never cease. Gratitude is the pipeline through which heaven keeps refilling what you pour out. Even as you read this, heaven is moving. Doors are opening. Emails are being written. Opportunities are aligning. You may not see it yet, but you can feel it, the invisible hum of breakthrough. Your overflow is already in transit. Chosen one. Seal this moment with faith. Type 111 in the comments below as your prophetic act of agreement. That number represents divine unity, heaven, purpose, and you moving as one. It is a declaration that you are aligned with God's abundance, not the world's anxiety. When you write it, you're saying, I am in the flow. I am part of the divine circulation. Because this overflow is not a moment, it's a lifestyle. You will walk in it, breathe in it, and share it. And everywhere you go, others will recognize it. Not because of what you own, but because of what overflows from your spirit, peace, generosity, and radiant faith. Chosen one. The labor is over. You are stepping into what heaven calls harvest without toil. You have sown in faith, watered with tears, and waited through seasons that felt barren. But now the field of your obedience is bursting with life, what others strive for endlessly. You will begin to receive effortlessly, not because you didn't work, but because you worked in the unseen. Heaven always rewards hidden labor. You must understand this. Toil is not the same as work. Toil is what happens when human effort tries to replace divine timing. It's the exhausting striving that drains joy and chokes peace. But you, chosen one, have learned a better rhythm, the rhythm of rest. You no longer wrestle with outcomes. You walk with obedience. That shift alone has positioned you to receive what others must fight for. We find this mystery unveiled in the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 5. Your threshing shall last until the grape harvest, and the grape harvest shall last until sowing time. You shall eat your fill and dwell in your land safely. Oh, there was a time when you ran on empty. watching others flourish while you waited in silence. Yet, you stayed faithful. You kept showing up. You kept believing. Even when nothing seemed to move, that persistence was your plow. Every prayer you whispered through fatigue was a strike in the soil of destiny. Every time you forgave, instead of retaliating, you sowed righteousness. Every moment you chose to hope again. Heaven recorded the gesture. And now, the reaping begins. Harvest without toil doesn't mean laziness, it means alignment. When your heart, actions, and words agree with heaven, fruit appears naturally. You no longer have to chase blessings. You become the kind of soil blessings prefer. The field recognizes its faithful gardener. God is teaching you the grace of ease, not because life will be effortless, but because you will carry effort gracefully. You will find yourself accomplishing more with less strain, producing more with fewer resources, and touching more lives with quieter steps. That is the sign of divine partnership, results beyond your reach, sustained by peace beyond understanding. You will notice how divine timing replaces delay. Things that used to take years will unfold in days. Connections will happen with supernatural speed. Ideas that once felt heavy will flow effortlessly. When the hand of God rests on your life, human resistance loses power. The very forces that once opposed you will now promote you. Chosen one, look back briefly, not to dwell, but to discern. Remember the seasons when your hands were full, but your heart was empty. You worked tirelessly, but saw little fruit. That was toil. It was training you to recognize the difference between striving and surrender. Now, you will work from peace, not for peace. That shift in energy will transform everything you touch. Rest is not idleness, it's trust. To rest in God is to declare, I know you've got this. It's a statement of faith stronger than any sermon. When you rest while others rush, you demonstrate confidence in the divine calendar. You are no longer moved by deadlines, you are moved by destiny. The world system glorifies exhaustion, but heaven celebrates balance. You will notice that as you walk in this rhythm of grace, fatigue will fade, and fruitfulness will increase. Your productivity will no longer come from panic, but from peace. You will work, but it will not drain you. You will give, but it will not empty you. That is the beauty of harvest. Without toil, output, without burnout. And yet, even in this abundance, humility must remain your anchor. Never forget who brought the rain. You sowed, yes, but God gave the increase. The moment you think it's your power that sustains you, the soil begins to harden. Stay soft before Him. Keep gratitude alive. Let every harvest remind you of His faithfulness, not your effort. This season will redefine success for you. It will no longer be measured in numbers or possessions, but in peace, fulfillment, and impact. You will realize that true wealth is not accumulation, it's overflow that keeps flowing. You will live as a fountain, not a reservoir. Harvest without toil is not just a promise, it's your new posture. You will walk into rooms and bring rest with you. People will sense the ease of heaven around your presence and wonder how you do it. You will smile because you know the secret. It's not what you carry, it's who carries you. Chosen one, breathe. The harvest is here. The fields are ripe. The air is sweet. And your hands are ready. You will gather with joy and rest in peace. What you once chased now walks toward you. What you once lost will return, multiplied. You have learned to trust, and heaven has learned it can trust you. Chosen one. You are entering a delicate chapter now, the phase where abundance and attention converge. This is the moment to guard the glory. Every blessing carries its own weight, and if that weight is not balanced with humility, it can bend even the strongest soul. You have prayed for increase, and heaven has delivered it. Now heaven watches to see if you will worship the giver or the gift. The greater the light, the longer the shadow it casts. As favor multiplies and opportunities expand, the temptation to measure yourself by outcomes will whisper quietly, beware of it. Success is not your savior, God is. The moment you believe the crown came by your own hands, it begins to slip. Glory is holy. It must be handled with reverence. As was written in the first letter of Peter, chapter 5, verse 6, humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. This verse is not merely instruction, it is preservation. Humility is the armor that protects you from the poison of pride. It is the filter that keeps your blessings pure. Chosen one. The same God who exalted you can sustain you, but he will not compete with ego. The light he has placed on you is meant to illuminate others, not to blind them. Guard your glory by remembering that you are a vessel, not the source. The moment you see yourself as the fountain, the flow ceases. You are a carrier of divine current, not the current itself. There will be voices around you, some cheering, others criticizing. Neither should define you. Applause can intoxicate just as much as accusation can wound. Do not build your identity on human response. Build it on divine assignment. You were chosen for impact, not for image. If you chase validation, you'll eventually trade authenticity for attention. Guarding the glory means learning when to speak and when to stay silent. Every miracle does not require an announcement. Sometimes the holiest things are the quietest. When God blesses you, celebrate privately before you broadcast publicly. There are victories meant to be cherished in secret, because the noise of exposure can attract envy. And envy invites warfare. You no longer need to fight. You are now a steward of glory, not its owner. Stewardship requires balance, joy without arrogance, boldness without boast, leadership without domination. You were raised not to rule over people, but to rule over pride. If the crown ever tempts you to forget the cross, you must lay it down until humility is restored. There will be subtle tests. God may bless you in public, but correct you in private. He does this not to shame, but to shield you. Correction is proof of care. The Holy Spirit will whisper reminders when pride tries to slip in, gentle nudges saying, "Remember who brought you here." Pay attention to those whispers. They are heaven's hand steadying your steps. Guarding the glory also means guarding your focus. Do not let comfort breed complacency. Abundance is not a destination, it's a tool. You've been given much because much will be required. You are not called to rest on laurels, but to rise in service. The more light you carry, the greater your responsibility to shine it where darkness lingers. Chosen one. The world will notice your transformation. Some will celebrate, others will speculate. Do not be distracted by either. Keep your gaze fixed on the one who authored your journey. Remember how far he's carried you, the nights of uncertainty, the prayers whispered through tears, the days you almost quit. Each moment was molding your character to handle this glory with grace. Glory must never be stored. It must be reflected. Like the moon, you have no light of your own. You simply reflect the radiance of a greater source. That understanding keeps you safe. It keeps you grounded when platforms rise and voices grow. You do not shine for applause. You shine for alignment. And when weariness comes, retreat into worship. It is worship that resets perspective. Glory without gratitude becomes dangerous. But gratitude turns glory into grace. As long as your heart remains bowed, your crown will remain steady. Chosen one. Guard what God has given. Do not let pride touch it. Do not let fear hide it. Let your glory remain transparent, so that when people look at you, they don't just see success, they see the reflection of heaven's faithfulness. You are not a monument to self-achievement. You are a living testimony of mercy. Stay low, stay pure, and stay thankful. That is how you guard the glory, and that is how you remain unstoppable. Chosen one. Something profound is happening on a larger scale. The divine current that began as a whisper in your own life has now become a wave, a global funding wave. Heaven is not blessing you for you alone. It is igniting a movement through every chosen heart that has endured, obeyed, and stayed faithful. The same way the ocean's tide rises to lift every vessel resting upon it. This wave is designed to elevate an entire generation of believers who dared to believe that God still funds destinies all across the earth. Souls are awakening to this same revelation that heaven is their source. Not systems, not luck, not the approval of men. The kingdom is shifting from survival to stewardship, from scarcity to supernatural supply. You are not an isolated miracle. You are part of a divine pattern. Your breakthrough is a broadcast signal to others still standing in the storm. As was written in the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 7, I will shake all nations, and what is desired comes. I will fill this house with glory and honor. This is what the Spirit is doing now, shaking systems, stirring hearts, and redistributing glory, the wealth of the nations, the creativity of the faithful, the influence of the humble, all are flowing into divine hands for kingdom purpose. Picture this movement as an ocean of light sweeping across continents. Each chosen one is a wave within that sea. When you engage, when you share, when you speak truth, when you support the message, you cause ripples that merge into something unstoppable. The sea does not move because of one drop, but one drop can start its motion. You see, when you share this word, you are not forwarding a post, you are forwarding purpose. You become a carrier of hope. Someone, somewhere, scrolling in silence, could find courage again because of a message you helped carry. When you comment or write from your heart, it isn't a social gesture, it's a spark that keeps the light spreading. And when you choose to like, to subscribe, to donate, it isn't a transaction. It's participation in the divine economy. You're adding fuel to the fire, oil to the lamp, wind to the wave. You're helping this movement remain visible in a world flooded with noise. Every act of support, every gift, every word of encouragement helps the message reach one more wandering soul. Imagine a lighthouse standing on the edge of the world. Every time you interact, it shines a little brighter. The light cuts through fog and storm, guiding ships, hearts, safely home. That lighthouse represents all of us, a community of the chosen, bound by divine calling, each doing our part to keep the flame alive. The world often funds fear, heaven funds faith. When you align with what God is doing through this space by sharing it, nurturing it, or contributing to it, you are sowing into something eternal. You're not just helping maintain a channel or a project. You're ensuring that the voice of heaven keeps echoing through the wilderness of doubt. Your engagement is the bridge that connects one heart to another. Think of how rivers join to form oceans. One act of obedience connects to another until an entire tide of transformation begins. That's how revival works. It starts in individual hearts and spreads like wildfire. Chosen one. If this message has spoken to you, if it has reminded you that you are seen, chosen, and funded, then let that same compassion move through you. Like this message, not for vanity, but for visibility. Share it not for numbers, but for souls. Subscribe not for entertainment, but for endurance to keep walking with heaven's voice in your ear. And if you are led, support this mission through your giving, so that together we can keep the light burning strong. Every act of generosity echoes beyond your lifetime. You are not donating to a name or a platform. You are sowing into the continuation of divine storytelling. Each word that leaves here carries the breath of purpose, and you help it reach farther. You are part of a kingdom movement, not an audience. Together, we are building an invisible network of light souls in alignment, hearts in motion, purpose in partnership. The global funding wave does not stop at your door. It passes through your heart and flows toward others who still need to believe that heaven remembers them too. So comment below. Share what this wave means to you. Your words might be the oar someone else needs to row again. Your faith might become the tide that lifts another. Together, we rise. Together, we carry the sound of grace to the ends of the earth. Because this is bigger than a message, it's a movement. And you, chosen one, are part of the rising tide. Chosen one. The world around you trembles. Economies fluctuate. Systems collapse. And people grasp at temporary securities. Yet, while the ground beneath nations shakes, heaven remains immovable. You are witnessing what Scripture calls divine reversal, a sacred inversion of earthly order, where the last become first, and those who were overlooked rise to prominence. The same God who spoke light into chaos is now restructuring global flows of wealth, influence, and wisdom. Heaven's economy is not reacting to crisis, it is rewriting it. You are part of that rewriting. While the world speaks of recession, heaven speaks of restoration. While fear spreads scarcity, God multiplies supply. The shaking is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to deliver you from dependency on what was never meant to sustain you. You are being detached from temporary systems so that you can be securely anchored in eternal provision. As the ancient words recorded in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 13, declare, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm and see. The Lord will deliver. The Egyptians you see, you'll never see again." Those Egyptians represent the old system's fear, debt, limitation, dependence on human approval that once enslaved your thinking. You are standing at your Red Sea moment, watching as heaven parts what the world said was impossible. Do not be alarmed by what collapses around you. Every earthly fall is making room for divine fulfillment. God shakes what can be shaken, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. When systems crumble, heaven constructs. When markets fail, faith funds. You are part of a new spiritual economy where integrity, obedience, and compassion are the new currency. Remember this truth. Every time history trembled, heaven advanced. When famine struck Egypt, Joseph prospered because he had prepared in partnership with God. When Israel wandered through desert lands, manna fell because human supply had run out. When the early church faced persecution, it multiplied instead of retreating. Divine reversal is not a headline, it's a heritage. You are an heir of that pattern. This global shaking is heaven's audit on the idols of the age. Money without morality, power without purpose, and influence without integrity are being dismantled. What remains will be refined. A kingdom people whose wealth carries worship, whose authority carries humility, whose wisdom carries compassion. You are among them, chosen one. You are not a casualty of chaos. You are a catalyst of change. When others see crisis, you will see calling. The reason you have endured storms is because your faith had to be weatherproofed. Now, when the winds blow again, you will not be moved. You've learned how to operate from a higher economy, the currency of trust. You are being called to live prophetically, not reactively. Prophetic living means anticipating abundance when others anticipate decline. It means planting when others are hoarding, giving when others withdraw, speaking life while others curse the darkness. You are heaven's contradiction, walking in human form, a divine reminder that faith still governs the earth. There will be moments when the reversal feels lonely. Not everyone around you will understand how you can remain calm while headlines scream disaster. But you will know the secret. Your source is not on the stock exchange. It is seated on the throne. You belong to an unshakable kingdom. God is positioning you as proof. When the world looks for stability, your peace will preach. When they ask, "How are you thriving in this?" your answer will carry more weight than any sermon, because your life will be the sermon. You will embody what it means to be sustained by something unseen. Even now, heaven is distributing assignments. Some will be called to innovate in business, others to restore families, others to speak truth in culture. Each role matters. Each assignment contributes to the divine rebuilding of this era. You are not a spectator to history. You are heaven's participant in it. And through it all, remember, reversal is not revenge. God is not exalting you to prove anyone wrong. He is exalting you to prove His righteousness. Right. You will carry prosperity with purity, authority with tenderness, and influence with integrity. That is what makes this reversal divine. It redeems without destroying. It lifts without boasting. It blesses without corrupting. Chosen one. The shaking will continue, but you will remain. The rivers may roar. The markets may fall. The empires may shift. Yet your foundation stands untouched. You are living proof that divine reversals are not fair, they are faithful. Hold steady. Heaven is rebuilding the world, and you are part of the blueprint. Chosen one. The journey has brought you here to the place of fulfillment, to the moment heaven promised before you even knew how to ask. You have walked through valleys of uncertainty, climbed mountains of faith, and stood still while storms tried to erase you. Yet here you are, crowned with provision, What once was broken is now blessed. What once was empty now overflows. This is not the end of a story, it is the unveiling of identity. You are not simply blessed, you are entrusted. God does not crown for decoration, He crowns for delegation. The abundance upon your life is not random reward, it is a mark of covenant. Heaven has placed its seal upon your head, its provision in your hands, and its purpose in your heart. The Word of God declares in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 12, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of His bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands. You will lend to many nations but will borrow from none. This is your inheritance, not borrowed blessing, not temporary favor, but generational abundance that cannot be revoked. Chosen one, you no longer stand as a beggar at heaven's door. You walk as an heir through the courts of divine promise. Every delay, every trial, every season of hiddenness was preparing you for this level of partnership. You have proven that your faith was not conditional. You praised Him in drought, and now you will serve Him in rain. You remained when others retreated, and now the reward follows. Obedience, like shadow, follows light. This crown of provision is not built from gold. It is woven from gratitude, trust, and surrender. It is not placed by human hands, but by divine decree. The unseen realm recognizes you now as one who has passed the tests of scarcity and selfishness. You are trusted to carry plenty without pride and to wear honor without arrogance. You will notice that provision now flows differently. It is not forced, it is fluent. Doors will open naturally because they recognize the scent of purpose on you. People will appear at the right time because heaven orders the paths of those who walk in obedience. You will not have to strive anymore. You will simply stand, and things will align around you because your life itself has become a prophecy fulfilled. The crown signifies not luxury, but legacy. What you carry will outlive you. The seeds you sow, the kindness you extend, the wisdom you share, they will ripple beyond your lifetime. The crown means you are no longer surviving off miracles. You have become a miracle in motion. You will find new peace in ordinary things, laughter, stillness, the morning light. For when you are crowned, even simplicity feels sacred. The same sky you once stared at in despair now looks like the ceiling of promise fulfilled. You are not reaching anymore. You are resting in divine rhythm. Chosen one. This new season carries both beauty and weight. To be crowned means to be seen, and to be seen means to be responsible. Influence is stewardship. Wealth is assignment. Visibility is accountability. Handle each gently. The way you manage abundance will speak louder than how you survived lack. Let humility remain your fragrance and gratitude, your armor. And when the days feel heavy, remember how far you've come. Remember the nights when you doubted this could ever happen. Remember the prayers that once felt unanswered but were actually ripening in silence. Every tear you shed was irrigation for the garden you now walk through. Nothing was wasted. Every moment, every scar, every yes, they were all strands in the thread of this coronation. Now you stand beneath an open heaven. The same God who funded your journey will sustain your future. The flow will not end here, it will expand through you. The crown is not the conclusion, it is the confirmation that the covenant is complete. Chosen one. Lift your head. You are crowned with provision, clothed with peace, and filled with purpose. The famine is over. The fear is gone. You have become the living evidence that God funds what He calls, and He finishes what He begins. Walk boldly. Walk gently. Walk as one who knows heaven has invested in you completely. Chosen one. Take a moment to breathe. Let every word you've heard settle deep within you like seed in fertile soil. This journey, 17 steps of revelation, was never meant to just inspire you. It was meant to awaken you. You now carry an awareness few ever touch, that heaven funds, fills, and finishes what it begins. You are not waiting for provision, you are walking in it. As this final word rests upon you, remember that light only multiplies when it's shared. When you like, when you comment, when you share, you're not just reacting, you're releasing. You're helping this sound of faith reach the next weary heart, still searching for hope. Your single gesture might be the spark that reignites another chosen one's fire. Subscribe. Stay close. Stay aligned. This is not the end. It's the continuation of a divine conversation. Every time you engage, you keep the flame of this mission alive, a mission to remind the world that God still funds destinies, still crowns the faithful, still calls ordinary people into extraordinary flow. Type your thoughts below your testimony, your gratitude, your agreement, and let heaven hear your voice among the chosen. Together, we keep the light burning.